Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Knowledge Portal video series. So, continuing our journey understanding the characteristics of a cloud environment, today we'll be discussing more about elasticity. So, we already had an overview on what elasticity is, but in today's lecture, we'll go a bit deep down and understand more about elasticity as well as the real world applications where elasticity property is used. So, going by a very simple definition again, elasticity deals with adding and removing the capacity whenever needed in the environment. So, let's suppose if tomorrow is a big promotion for your organization, if you're able to scale up and after promotion is completed, you are able to scale down. So, that property of scaling up and scaling down is generally referred to as elasticity. Now, when we talk about capacity, capacity generally refers to two important components which are processing and memory. Now, processing refers to CPU and memory refers to RAM. Now, in order to explain elasticity, I generally take a very simple example of a rubber band. So, I have got a rubber band over here. So not a best of rubber band, but it took me like 15-20 minutes to find a rubber band. So what happens if you look into rubber band, whenever you apply load, you see it stretches out. And whenever the load decreases, it comes back to its original position. So this particular property of scaling up or stretching out and going back to the original position or scaling down is called as the elasticity property, right? Now, there is one more term called as scalability, which is generally used in the cloud environment. So scalability is very similar to elasticity. Now, sometimes these words or these two terms are used interchangeably. So just make sure, specifically if you're in cloud environment, you will not find a term elasticity being used. You will find a term scalability being used. Now, talking about scalability, there are two types of scalability. One is horizontal and one is vertical. Now, this can be best explained with the help of diagram. What happens in vertical scalability is, let's assume this small server that you see is a 2 GB RAM server. Now, due to promotional challenge, there is a capacity increase that needs to be done where the 2 GB RAM needs to be upgraded to a 8 GB RAM server. So what happens in vertical scaling is this server of 2 GB RAM is scaled up to support the 8 GB RAM capacity. So the RAM requirement of this server has been changed from 2 GB to 8 GB. But still here only a single server is present. Now what happens in horizontal scalability is this is a 2 GB RAM server. Now, instead of scaling the same server resource to 8 GB RAM, you create 3 more servers, each of 2 GB. So you have 2 GB, you have 4 GB, you have 6 GB and you have 8 GB. So in total here you have 8 GB of RAM capability and here also you have 8 GB of RAM capability. Now both vertical as well as horizontal scalability has its own advantages and disadvantages. Now let's take a disadvantage of vertical scaling. You are in between promotion, let's say, and you have a single 8 GB RAM server and due to some reason the server goes down. There's some malfunction happened in the kernel and the server went down. Now due to which the entire website went down. Okay, so this is one of the disadvantage of vertical scaling. Talking about horizontal scaling, even if one server goes down over here, you have 3 more servers available which can support the increase in load. So ultimately your website is not going down as far as horizontal scalability is concerned. Now again, in horizontal scalability cannot be used in all the applications. So there are applications in which vertical scalability is preferred. For example, database. So database you cannot generally scale out specifically the master database. So during scalability, or I would say during vertical scalability in the applications like database, the vertical scaling is preferred. However, for applications like servers, like simple applications that are present in your server, horizontal scalability is preferred. Now, scaling servers on demand is a real thing. It is not like a marketing team comes up to you and says, okay, tomorrow is promotion, make sure that all the servers are scaled up. So you manually go, you resize the server. So that is an old thing. What is the real deal is on demand scaling. So as a system administrator or as a solutions architect, I don't really have to do much. The servers should be configured in such a way that it should scale up or it should scale down automatically. So this is a use case scenario where a CPU load is greater than 70%, then scale up to 2 more servers. So whenever CPU load grows more than 70%, then 2 new servers comes up within the horizontal scalability. Now, as soon as the CPU load goes down less than 30%, then the 2 new servers which were added, they will be terminated. So again, this particular scalability is in terms of CPU requirement. You can configure to various things like network or various other parameters. So a very simple use case scenario, but this type of use case scenario is generally used in many of the real world production environments. So this is a simple auto scaling configuration. So auto scaling is one of the service which AWS provides for horizontal scalability. Now here if you see, this is the auto scaling configuration where you have scale between 1 instance to 5 instance. So maximum scaling that will happen is 5 servers. And how will the scaling happen? The scaling will happen based on a metric called as average CPU utilization. And if the average CPU utilization grows to the target value of 70%, then the scaling will happen from 1 instance to 2, or maybe from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So 5 is the maximum scaling of servers that will happen. So this is a sample auto scaling configuration. So this is it about elasticity. We will have one more demo of elasticity where we look this particular concept based on our VMware Fusion. So I hope this has been useful for you. Again, if you have any doubts, suggestions, feel free to contact us on social media or connect to us on instructors@kplabs.in. I hope this has been informative for you, and I look forward to see you in the next lecture of elasticity. Thanks for watching.